What's going on, guys? Different kind of video today. We got the PS5, of course, we got the controller, and I'm just going to compare both these controllers. In fact, I'm just going to review everything in general for both the PS5 and Xbox. In terms of the controllers, this is like 3 generations behind. The fact this still uses batteries is a shambles. The only thing that's really been improved is got USB Type-C, and that is pretty much it. It uses batteries. Aesthetics are pretty decent. They've trimmed certain areas, so they trimmed like these edge areas. But apart from that, the controller is the same. Xbox has some of the worst in-game recording functions. You can only still record for literally about 30 seconds or even a couple of minutes, whereas on the PS4, literally, you have complete control. You can record up to an hour. Here, you got some of the settings here. Save video clip most recent, start a new recording. You can see the capture options. You can set how big you want the file to be. I mean, compared to like everything else, right? Compared to everything else, PS does it perfectly. I think the biggest thing is if we go to screen over here, we go to which one is it? Captures and broadcast. You go to captures. You can see and go up to an hour. That is game changing. For you to capture gameplay, if you want to start creating content, I started without an Elgato capture card. I did this. I used to record for an hour. You can't do it on the Xbox. So that in itself, the Xbox loses that. So then there's the other things, okay? Obviously the PS5 UI is now reformed. That's a bit game change. Xbox is still pretty much mundane the same. The main thing I would say is the controllers. Apart from that share button, apart from that USB Type-C, the fact to use batteries is embarrassing. This controller is next generation. Has a built-in microphone in it at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a built-in microphone, that orange button over there. It's got a touchpad, adaptive triggers, and it's complete vibration. In fact, I'm going to walk you through. So I'm going to plug in my headphones, because you can plug in headphones into both headphones of both controllers. We're going to go through, and I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of a walkthrough. So we're going to go to Astro's Playroom. This is where you can really see how next gen this game is. Hang on, let me just quickly. Was it audio? Well, I like these menus, very, very intuitive. Going straight into Astro's Playroom. Basically, this is just a free game. Basically, it lets you experience the Xbox controller for real. And this is why I think the the PS5 controller. This is why I think honestly, it takes it miles above. I tried to explain this to you, right? Right now I'm on this screen. When that kind of glistening was going over the screen, I could feel that in my controller. If I go to controller demo, when I move up and down, it vibrates so intense, it's in a different level. If I go to controller demo, we'll see what this controller can really do. So if you haven't bought a PS5 before, this will give you a bit of an insight. So I can feel the controller basically just going through, vibrating, just shaking a little bit. It's pretty immersive. Like you can feel the vibrations on the left-hand side, then in the right-hand side. So it's pretty immersive from the vibration point. They've added new vibration motors, I'm presuming, all along. But this will give you a bit of a sense. So like this over here, I can feel it build up, for example, from the bottom. When it goes all the way to the top and it starts spamming out, I can feel it build up. So we go over that again. I can feel the vibrations from like the bottom of the screen. From the bottom of the controller, so all the way to the top, and then it rapidly vibrates very, very quickly toward the top. I've not experienced that yet on the Xbox. I don't even think they even have that feature in, past some basic vibrations. Yeah, these adaptive triggers, which are pretty decent, which I'll get onto in a second. You have a touchpad, which this is ridiculous how an Xbox doesn't have a touchpad, like in this day and age, but this one, you could draw on it, you can do anything, and you can see it's so accurate. I mean, I was so surprised. And it registers double touches as well. So that is something that is actually extraordinary. I know they had that last year. They have motion tracking as well. And I thought this was pretty insane. So obviously, depending on how you move the controller, you can shake it. It has complete 360 control. So if you're driving, you can almost emulate, I suppose you can argue emulate racing wheel. And you can feel it. You can feel it rumble. You can feel it shake, mainly in the base of the controller. But yeah, that's very, very interesting. Obviously you have a microphone. So you actually have a built-in microphone. And when you speak into the microphone, you can feel the feedback depending on your voice. And obviously, the closer you get, the more, vibrant it becomes. And further you are, you can feel the vibration. I thought that alone was pretty good. So that the controller in itself is miles ahead. So if we go to start a new game, this is what I think is really interesting. You can really you can really feel the game in your hands. Now I don't think a lot of games like FIFA will make good use of this, because you can argue it. People are going to argue it's not going to be as effective. Like, you don't want the controller you don't want, so the adaptive triggers, it makes the triggers hard to press. You don't want, for example, the triggers very, very hard to press. For example, if you're trying to take a finesse shot towards goal, that wouldn't be accurate. Anyway, let's just skip through this. I don't know why I did this again. I did it by mistake. Let's just skip through this. Skip through all these. Next, touchpad. Next, motion tracking. 1 second. Okay, let's go next. Microphone. Yes. Unmute. So always there's a button to mute it and unmute it, by the way, the orange button over there. But anyway, let's just skip through this. I want to go into the game, that's what I want to go into. So obviously that's what the PS5 looks like. And obviously that light as well is it's not really two colors. It's made as blue and white. So that's where like the LEDs are. The design, I like it. I like the design. Also, you have the colors also on the controller, as you can see it over there. See, it's blue there, and that obviously changes controller as well. But this is really cool. Look at this. So you can see I'm twisting it left and right, and then you can just basically flick forward. And when he's actually falling down, you can feel the bounce. It's not just a standard vibration. It's like you can feel the way it reacts. And you can see if I'm moving about, I can feel like his movement is kind of wobbeting left to right. You can find that. Then this is what's interesting. You press the X button, you feel the vibrations, like a little bit of vibration. You collect the coins. If you do a double tap and you hold it, you can feel it. And it's kind of like a mixture of the adaptive, the movement of the vibrations. It's pretty sick, I won't even lie. Let's go with this. X. It's like there. You see when I landed again, when it was like a harsh landing, you can feel the difference in vibration. So the vibration, the deepness of the vibration changes. Square. So even when you're smashing this glass, you can feel, and obviously as it gets more closer to being destroyed, the vibrations increase. Now this is where the controller feels next level, okay? So when I grab this piece of rope or this piece of wire, when I pull back on it, I can feel the resistance. And when it's stretching, when it's pulling, I can feel the pull, if that makes sense. It's not so immersive. Like, it's not like you can feel it literally, but you can definitely feel the vibrations. The vibrations do have a complete impact on that. I'm doing this for the first time, by the way. Doing a run through of this. Okay, what's this? CPU plus. Let's see the map. So we're gonna go ahead and choose one of these. Let's go for blue, because blue is my favorite color. Cooling springs. Okay, let's have a go. Okay, this was interesting as well. You see when I'm on this surface, like a fan, you can feel a little bit of vibration, like a very low vibration, just kind of emulate the fan type structure, right? Then when you go to this surface, it's a completely different feeling. Then when I go down this slide, let's have a look. See, look, I can feel it when I'm sliding. I can feel it. It's like a complete different animation or different feel for every single surface. Even when you fall in the water. I mean, I'm obviously going through the water. Even the sand. So I can feel there's a little bit more, it's not too much, but a tiny bit of resistance. That's just standard vibrations, nothing there. That is depending on how hard I hit him or whatever. Let's see if we go into this, can we feel us? So you can really feel it. I don't know if you can hear that, but on a microphone you can hear the vibration. You can hear the resistance. So it's gonna be interesting how they do this in games. Let's have a look. So we gotta pull this, I think, right? Okay. So even this one, right? So obviously it's quite wobbly, the surface that I'm on. You can feel when I'm moving. You can basically feel the wobbliness on the controller. It's pretty insane, to be honest. Okay, now this is where I've heard about this. So let's try this out for the first time. So this is where the adaptive triggers really come into play. Whoa. Like honestly, like, so when I'm loading up the spring, it's actually hard to push this down. So this, it won't be on FIFA because obviously this will be, imagine trying to do a finesse shot and it's just like so hard to push down. But like, it's really resisting. Like you can see when I'm facing to the left hand side. If I'm facing to the left hand side and I go the opposite way, I can feel the resistance. Like if I go to the right hand side and I press L2, I can really feel the resistance. Like I'm actually straining my fingers to hold these buttons. If I hold them to both together, oh my, see, I'm actually physically struggling to push them down. That's actually pretty sick. Okay, how do I get this? Rip, I'm actually gonna miss this, aren't I? Okay, I see. Yeah, I don't know if this will get annoying to play. I think in certain games that they implement this very well, I think it'll be really immersive. Like it's actually strenuous. Not too strenuous. I mean, obviously, like it's not gonna like legit hurt your hand, but you can feel the actual, like it's actually physically hard to press. This would be really good in racing game. This is where I can really see this actually really prosper. Try to get up this. I love how you use. I don't know how certain games are gonna implement this though, because you have to hang on, if I press them both at the same time. Okay, I see. Wow, I'm epically failing now, embarrassing myself. Wow, I'm actually. I don't know how to even do this. Maybe I should just give up. Quick while I'm ahead. Oh my god. Maybe I'm doing this like wrong. Okay, I see. You have to overcompensate. I was trying to be too accurate. I was trying to be way too accurate. What am I doing? You can see. I'm actually physically struggling to do this. One second, let me just. It's like going 2-0 down in foot champions, you know what I mean? You just gotta sit up. Something that looks relatively easy. Oh, it's because I'm not moving my controller. That's why. Okay, I see. Okay, I forgot about moving my controller. That was my bad. But even like when you go past these obstacles, you can feel them. Straight up. Okay, let's just get out of this. Let's quickly finish this mission. But anyway, the one thing that I wanted to say why I really hated this game, why I really hated this PS5, right? The only pet peeve I have about this PS5, and it's such a differentiating fact, they've made some stupid decision making. You know what they've done? Now this is what's. Let me just try to get past this. Oh my god, I actually really felt that. You have to overcommit completely. Okay, I see. So even when I smash through this glass, you can actually physically feel it. It's actually pretty sick. Okay, anyway, let's just... We got the idea, I'll be honest. That is pretty sick how they've used the controller. But this is the thing that really kills me. It would have been, honestly, a perfect console, right? This is the thing, this is almost a joke, okay? So I have a 1440p 144Hz monitor, right? So the Xbox, I can play 1440p, no problem. I can even play up to 120 Hz on it. There's no big issue. And I thought, I knew sometimes there might be a chance that there might be a big chance that that you might not be able to play 4K for some time. I accepted that, but then I went over to screen and video, and then I realized you can't change to 1440p. And I knew this might be a big issue. I know they're going to eventually add the super sampling 1080p to 2K, but the fact that's not a feature, that is a complete shock. I mean, I'll be honest, I thought at the least you can at least try to use 2160, but scale down. I thought maybe like that. But the fact that you can just use 1080p and your 2K monitor, it's barbaric. But then it gets worse. I was like, okay, fine. I don't mind playing 1080 if I can play in 120 Hz or 140 Hz. You can't do that. Can you imagine? You cannot play 120 Hz. Now I was thinking, why? My monitor's 120 Hz. On Xbox to get 120 Hz. So why can I not use 120 Hz on the PS5? And then I realized, okay, I have HDMI 1.4. I think HDMI 2.0 even... Well, I think even HDMI 1.4, which is the standard HDMI cables, they very easily do 120 Hz. But for some reason, check this out. Sony have decided to make it only available to HDMI 2.1. So that means if you bought a monitor that's not been out for the last 6 months, because HDMI 2.1 is very recent, they're very expensive, you can't play 120 Hz. And they didn't even tell us this before. Can you imagine? And that's why I said to every single person, unless you need a monitor straight away, just wait. I said to everyone, just buy a cheap monitor for now. Wait till the PS5 comes out. And this is the reason why. They screwed everyone over. Now, they've actually said, we're not putting 2K in because we want to concentrate on 4K in TVs. Okay, fine, fair enough. If there's overwhelming majority, people say that 1440p is very much of use, then it will change it. I don't mind that too much, in all honesty. It is a big deal breaker for me, but it isn't the complete do or die. The biggest thing for me was the resolution. But the fact they made it and they forced you to have a HDMI 2.1 TV to play 120 Hz is a joke. For example, my PC, I have a monitor HDMI 1.4, whatever it is, 144 Hz. I can play 144 Hz on my PC, but I can't do it on my PS5. So basically right now, apart from the PS5, if you haven't got a 4K TV, there is literally no point buying this. You can't even play high resolution on 1080p unless you have a HDMI 2.1 monitor. It's a complete stupid, considering most competitive games like FIFA, they're all done played on monitors. So I just can't believe it. You know, you make a console, you make one of the best controllers I've seen in the modern generation. Especially compared to your competitors who are honestly like miles behind in this controller. It doesn't even have... Can you imagine it's still battery operated? What a joke. How can you have a battery operated controller in 2020? Controller, should I say, when PS3 had that in back in 2006. And complete next gen, built-in battery, adaptive triggers, touchpad, right analog stick, built-in mic, built-in speakers. Also, you can hear sound from the actual thing. Adaptive triggers, everything you want, and they just completely messed it up with this. That's to give you a bit of an insight of what I think so far. I've not played anything really. I played FIFA. In theory, FIFA is exactly the same. You're just going to get faster load times and faster menus. For that way, it's perfect. But the fact they've just removed some stupid stuff, it makes no sense to me. But I just wanted to make this video because I think it's important for you guys to understand. It doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? But so far, my opinions, amazing controller, amazing UI, probably one of the best upgrades in generations. A complete shambles in decision making. They've completely obliterated every single person in the PC market. Everyone has bought monitors, and more importantly, imagine if you have a 1080p monitor, which many gamers have 1080p monitors high refresh rate, because that's the norm. Most gamers now have high refresh rate. You can't even use it unless you have HDMI 2.1. Absolute shambles. That just gives you a bit of an insight of the PS5. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.